this next person, I'm excited to see him, and I know you are too. He's one of my favorites. Please give it up for Mr. Alexander Calvert! I was worried for a second you weren't coming.
I quickly decided that I needed gum. I was like fumbling with the gum backstage. I was like, gotta go. You weren't excited to see me though. This is, you know.
Well, I saw you earlier.
Yeah. Like I meant like a couple times.
We went out to dinner the other night.
I mean, that was okay.
We actually see a lot of each other.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen you out here on stage.
Well, it's been a while, so it's gonna be just honestly, chuck on the seatbelt. It's gonna be a rough ride. So.
It is not.
Yeah. I also love this setup for the person who's not going to be here. Be like my imaginary self. Anyways.
Well, have a seat or stand. Do whatever you want. Please be nice to him, kids, and have a great time out.
Thank you. How goes it, guys? Happy to be here. Thank you guys for making it out, obviously. Have you guys survived up until this point? Because Thursday to Sunday in Vegas, I feel like is an eternity. No? Yep. Have you guys been like behaving, or has it been like a little up and down? Your silence indicates your guilt. Thank you. No, happy to be here. Yeah, let's left, right? Sure. Hi.
Hi, I'm Rosie. I'm from
Hi,
Salt
Rosie.
Lake. What was the best part of playing Lonnie on the Arrowverse?
Playing Anarchy on Arrow, the best part was easily getting to use a flamethrower. That was super fun. They were pretty hesitant to trust me with it, which is probably fair. They're like, this is very dangerous. It is hooked up to a fuel line. I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be great. So that was probably the best part. And they did some really cool prosthetics on my face. So that was, you know, it was like 3 hours of makeup every day, but it looked, you know, pretty cool. Yeah, thanks. Hey.
Hey Alex, I'm Sophia, I'm from Brazil. And
You know, I feel like Brazilian people don't like Supernatural.
Oh yeah, no. I don't know why I came here actually, yeah.
I've never heard it from a Brazilian fan.
No,
Never.
yeah. We're really quiet.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I just want to know what was your favorite scene to shoot so far in Supernatural?
Favorite scene that Favorite scene? My favorite episode, I guess, probably to shoot was when Jack was, you know, dying. We all know on the show, dying is kind of a loose term. But Jack was dying, and, you know, Dean kind of took him on like a farewell tour. Is that what we're doing right now? A farewell tour? No? Okay. And we were fishing. I was driving the car. That was easily, for me, like the most exciting because, you know, they actually had a car that would follow the Impala as well, and it had a camera on it. It would kind of go around the car. So that for me was just like so cool to shoot, and I don't know, felt like we were making Mission Impossible, but instead, you know, I was just driving the car at, you know, 20 miles an hour. So super similar to Tom Cruise, but just like way slower and not as cool. But yeah, that was super fun. And also, what up, Brazil? I see you. Yeah, okay, thanks. Hey.
Hi, Alex. I'm Emily. I wanted to know if you had more fun playing the demon in the beginning of season 15, or if you had more fun playing Jack.
Way more fun to play the sassy demon, you know? Jack is so, well, actually he's not as naive anymore, but like, the whole thing with playing Belle was just that like I got to kind of openly insult people to their faces, which is always a good time because they're like, "What'd you just say about me?" And I was like, "No, it's in the script. Like it's fine." So that was kind of fun, and like Misha was like right at the beginning like trying to be really tough with Belle. I don't remember what he said, but he's like, "Give us back, Jack," And for me, I was just kind of laughing and smiling, and it was great. So, yeah, I don't know. I think Belle was definitely a nice little mix-up for me. And plus, like, I feel like on this show, like, playing a different character is kind of like a rite of passage, Because everybody's played so many people at this point. I think the writers are just, like, kind of get bored. And they're just like, well, Alex has been Jack for, like, 2 years. Like, let's throw him a curveball, So, yeah, Belle. Hello.
Hi, Alex.
Hi.
So my question is, if you've had any paranormal or ghost experiences that have happened to you that you want to share?
Well, I nearly had a ghost experience here where there was 2 chairs for one person. So I was like, is someone joining me on the panel? Is there a ghost? No, but Vegas is kind of spooky. I don't know. It's not as spooky as New Orleans, which is, I felt way more, I don't know, feel like there's some sort of supernatural history there with like, I don't know, its age and, its history. But Vegas is also very strange. Did you have something happen to you this weekend? Is that why?
No, I was just wondering.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, not that I can recall. Cheers.
Hi Alex, my name is Ariana,
Hey.
and Tuesday was my 28th birthday.
Woo!
So I wanted to ask you, what has been your worst and what has been your best birthday?
Well, first of all, did you celebrate here at all?
I haven't really had too much time, but this convention
This seems
is
to be
me-
a common theme among these conventions. I'm
This
like,
convention
what are you guys
is-
doing? And then you're like, we're here, obviously. Yeah,
This convention is me celebrating, so.
I got you. I don't know. I don't really. The annoying thing your friend does, where they're like, I don't like birthdays, and then like the day comes around and they're like, well, what are we doing? I'm that annoying friend. Yeah. Where I'm just like, no, like I don't want to do anything, and then I'm like, TikTok guys, let's go. I just figure as long as you keep having birthdays, and that's kind of the best part. As much as like getting older sucks, which I'm, currently not enjoying. Which is great because Jack's like 3, so, yeah, I figure as long as you just keep having birthdays, it's better than the alternative. So I'd say, I don't know, I'm looking forward to the next one. Thanks.
Hi, Alex.
Hi.
Hi. So my question to you is that if Belphegor and Jack were to meet, do you think they'd be besties?
Do you think they'd be besties?
Or would they just be like polar opposites and hate each other all the time?
I don't know. Actually, I thought it'd be really fun to actually shoot that scene. It's like when Misha got to like do a whole scene in the empty with himself. By the way, super challenging to shoot that. But I think Jack and Belle would probably not get along because Belle would probably come up with some nasty insults towards Jack, and Jack would just like, I don't know, eat cereal or something. So he'd be pretty oblivious to, like Belle's, sharpness, if you will. If he was insulting him, I think Jack would just be like, that guy seems upset. So, probably wouldn't work out. Plus, that would be a long filming day for me, putting on sunglasses, taking off sunglasses. It's like exhausting, Yeah, thanks. Blacking out my eyes, Hi.
Hi, I'm Ivana. And my question is, what's one lesson you learned throughout your whole experience through Supernatural and from the cast and crew, and what's one message you would like to leave behind to your fans?
Wow, not at all deep question here. Can you repeat the first part of the question? What would be the... Excuse me. What is something I learned like from the show or from the character or what?
Just the experience overall from the cast and crew, for example, what did they teach you, or just what did you learn personally?
So hard to say. I don't know. What I really appreciate about the crew, and you know, as you guys know, the show's been on for a lifetime, and a lot of our crew has been working on the show since season 1 or season 3, and you know, that's like longer than some people's marriages or friendships or relationships, and they've been working together for all that time. So dedication, loyalty, those things are super important. If I could, you know, without being a preacher, if there was like something I hope people remember from the show, for me, I guess, I don't know, just that like, I have been lucky to meet a lot of people that really relate to Jack on a personal level, whether it be that they have struggles communicating with people or they feel like people don't understand them. For me to know that that resonated with you or someone you love and made you feel understood or loved for a second is like truly, truly incredible to me. So I guess that. The earnest answers are always really hard because, you know, a dick joke is easy, but, you know, you gotta pepper them in. Oh, wait. What if I say dick joke? Sorry, I was watching the signing. I was like, there's gotta be a universal gesture for that. Continuing onwards, hi.
Hi, lovely, how are you?
My name is Alex, or I go by Jack or Belle, but thank you. Is your name Lovely? Is that why?
I'm sorry?
Is your name Lovely? Because that would be.
No, I was just calling you lovely.
No, I'm saying that'd be a sick twist of fate. But anyways, please continue.
My question is, even though you've been on the show for like 3 seasons, which is more than enough time to become such a beloved character, but as we are kind of approaching the end of the road, what are you going to take away from this as your most treasured memory or experience, and what, if anything, has being a part of this allowed you to do that never seemed possible or given you the courage to do?
Well, I mean, first of all, the courage thing is super weird. So I got this show not really knowing about any part of the community of the show. I just kind of, you know, I got a job, right? And for that, and for most actors, that's like, you know, pretty awesome to begin with. But then, I think it was actually Cliff who mentioned to me, he's like, so, you coming to San Francisco? I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, you'll hear something. I'm like, okay. And then, you know, 2 months later, I'm in San Francisco, walking onto a stage like this in front of a bunch of people being like, oh, this is gonna be interesting. So I'd say the thing that I'd take away from it was like the ability to travel and to meet people is like this is definitely something I never would have expected or would have thought possible without the show. So I'd say that. I've got to like meet a ton of really cool people and get to know, you know, everybody on the crew here in a lot different way than I would have, you know, had I never started this experience. And you know, selfishly, did I ever think I'd be on a poster? Probably not. So it's been a crazy 3 years for me, and I keep getting all these earnest questions. Somebody better lob me a funny one soon. Yeah, I don't know, it went really fast. I don't know, I'm just thankful. That's it. Thanks, lovely. What up, Cass?
Hi, I'm Sam from Australia. And
Hi.
I was wondering, what was your favorite version of Jack to play? Like naive new Jack, powerful Jack?
Did you say naive nude Jack or new Jack?
New.
Because both are correct.
Technically.
Yeah, technically you are spot on here.
But like new Jack, soulless, human, powerful. Which one was your favorite, or most fun, or most difficult to play?
I mean, new Jack was super fun because everything was alien and new, and you know, there were just scenes where I'd just be like touching a brick wall. They're like, yeah, you're looking at the brick. I'm like, okay, sure. So I'm over here just like fondling the brick. So I mean, that was fun. Because why not? Why not fondle brick in a scene? I really liked Jack, who was. I like there was that kind of that part of the show where we weren't really sure if Jack was going to turn on the guys or, you know, if he was going to side with Lucifer. I really liked that one because he was so confused about his lineage and who his father is. We still don't know. That's actually a common question. Someone's like, well, yeah, sign next to your father. And I'm always like, which one? I like the Jack that could have potentially gone evil. That was my favorite one. Just because for me it was a fun like temptation to kind of like look at if, you know, he was going to be good, or, you know, if me and Mark were just going to whip out the lightsabers and just go to town, you know? Yeah. You guys remember the lightsabers, right? You put that dirty mind away of yours. This is a family convention, okay? Hello.
Hi. You had said previously that you thought Belle was more fun to play. I was just wondering if you did any contrasting preparation for that. Like, because Jack and Belle are so different. Did you prepare for them different ways, or can you expand a little more on that?
I was kind of struggling. Well, what I wanted to do was like, when they were kind of explaining the Belle character to me, I just wanted to make him as polar opposite to Jack as I could. So, you know, when you guys saw me on those episodes, you weren't like, Alex is just wearing sunglasses. Didn't want to disappoint you guys, is what I'm saying. Yeah, I was literally going, you know, Jack's always very rigid. He's always sitting up straight. He's always sitting cross-legged. He's like, whereas Belle, I was like, you know, I wanted to put his feet up. I wanted him to lean on things. I wanted him to just kind of be very laissez-faire and just kind of like, you know, I just work here kind of thing. Whereas Jack would be like, I'm actually thrilled to be employed here. So just those kind of, I was just pushing for as opposite as I could from Jack. Plus the sunglasses. That was really just like, I was excited for the sunglasses because I just kept thinking of Weekend at Bernie's, you know? So I was like, he's kind of dead already. He's got the sunglasses. Like, this makes sense. So yeah. Thanks.
Thank you.
Cheers. Hello.
Hello, I'm Megan, and I was just wondering what your perfect ending for Jack would be.
Boom, perfect ending. Jack goes to Hawaii. Jack gets a spin-off set in Hawaii. Yeah. Misha can come too, but he will be required to only wear the trench coat, as it is a tropical place. Jack and Cass will spend their days surfing, dancing, solving crimes, eating pineapples and coconuts. This is my dream for Jack. And my dream for me personally, where they're like, hey, do you want to live in Hawaii for 10 months a year? And I'm like, where do I sign? Maybe I get one of those cool Hawaiian shirts, you know? No, seriously. Perfect ending for Jack for me would just be that he finds his place. Because I feel like he's struggled with the most is, do I belong? And I feel like hopefully by the end of the show, no, I'm not emotional. I just thought I heard like polka music. Yeah, I just hope that he finds that he truly belongs somewhere. I mean, he said he's a Winchester, and I feel like that really kind of, you know, resonated and sat with him in terms of he knew who he was. But I just want him to have his perfect little place in the universe where, you know, he feels all right, as opposed to this, you know, turmoil-stricken 3 years. Thanks. Yeah, it's kind of been a rough 3 years for him. He's kind of gone through everything, like on speed, so... Hi.
Hi, Alex. When you joined the show, it was a very established cast and crew. And just wondering which cast member was the most welcoming And which cast member was the most intimidating?
Well, to be fair, none of them were welcoming. So, it's kind of like, how do you choose between awful, terrible, and horrendous? You know, it's like, pick a hand, you know? What's really funny is that, like, you know at your job when you, like, first meet everybody and everybody's extremely professional, and then, like, you get to know them, and then, you know, day one's like, oh, really great to meet you, like, look forward to working with you. And, like, 6 months in, you're like, what's up, loser? Like, kind of like that. So everyone was professional and nice. I was really intimidated to work with Mark because our characters were kind of, you know, we never met, we never interacted. And then, you know, throughout the 13th season, our build-up was like when we would eventually collide. So I guess I was kind of like building that up in my mind. So I'd say that. It was more so intimidating to like come onto a show that people really love and bring in like a new character. So I was pretty nervous about that. But I mean, you guys have been, you know, pretty nice, right? I'm kidding, you guys have been awesome. Yeah, I was more so intimidated with that because, you know, if people hate the character on the show, then like, you know, it's not gonna last. So, thankfully it worked out and here I am. Thank you. Thanks for keeping me employed, guys. Shout out to you guys. Hello.
Hi, I was wondering if you could change anything about Jack, what would you change?
I mean, we tried the thing where like, I think I answered in previous years, I was like, I wish Jack could meet some people his own age. And then every time that's happened on the show, I've like almost killed them. Or, you know, I think it was last year and I was just like, yeah, I'll hang out with these kids. And I was like, hey, watch this. And then I accidentally stabbed one of them. Which, pro tip, if you're trying to make new friends, don't stab them. So I would have said that before. I really wanted to bring back the Velcro shoes. I feel like that was a cool look. But I don't think I'd really change anything. I don't know. What would you change? You're writing the show now. Go.
Oh no, nothing. He's great.
You could have been like, you know what? You could have like got me a Ferrari or something. Be like, Jack drives a Ferrari.
I was asking you, like, I don't know.
Jack would probably drive like, I don't know, just like a bike with training wheels on it or something. You'd be like, let's go, guys. When are you gonna take off the training wheels? Oh no, I can't do that. I can't do that. Thanks.
Hi.
Hi.
So my question was in the gag reel, and what Jensen has said is that in one of the scenes when you guys are at the hospital, whenever you collapsed or whenever you fell, they would always doggy pile you. And I was wondering, like the first time they did it, or when it kept going on and on, what was your thought and how did it feel to have all that weight on you?
I felt fantastic. Pretty good, actually. Stick.
What was my thought? Ow. Help. Stop. Why is no one helping? Again? Still? Okay. Then eventually just like, I'm gonna kick all you guys right in the balls. So take one, you're like, ha ha. Take two, you guys like, you guys suck. And take three, I was trying to kick Misha in the nuts, so. That was my thought process. I feel like a lot of you, there'd be some of you where you're just like, oh my God, yes. Like, today it happened, guys. The dog pile of 2019 finally came true. I've prayed and I've prayed to Chuck and, oh God, what a day for me. I can tell that this is, some of you guys are like, you're goddamn right, that's, yeah. Misha's trench coat just flapping in my face. So that was the thought process. What's really funny is, I mean, I don't think Jared's 40 yet, but all these are full-grown men, and like they're spending their days dogpiling me. I'm like, don't you guys have kids to hang out with? Like, This is my life. This is my life. So, yeah, not as fun a day as you'd think. But now I got to take like jujitsu classes and stuff just to defend myself. Also, a fun fact from that day. I don't know how well people remember the episode, but there's a shot of me on the gurney getting like, rolled through the hospital. So part of that day, in addition to getting doggy piled, was our ACAM operator, Brad. While I'm laying on the gurney, he's fully straddling me with the camera like this. And just like to get into the position, he's like, okay, here we go. Rolling, and just filming over me. So I've just got a full grown man. So I get crushed by 3 men, and then I'm like, good day. And then God's like, watch this. And then I'm getting straddled by Brad. And the worst part was like in between takes, they'll, maybe a minute or two sometimes where they'll like review the footage or see what happened. And for him to get up there and off the gurney, it really just wasn't worth it. So in between takes, he was still on top of me. And I'm just like, you know what, let's just ride this out at this point, Like it's hard for him to get off and on. I was like, let's just stay here, it's fine. Did that help? That was good. Okay. Kinda thank you, kinda not? Oh, thank you, cheers. Hi. Top that one.
What is the most interesting thing you've had to learn to do for a role?
Be straddled by grown men.
What was the name?
I'm sorry?
What was be straddled by whom?
Straddled by a grown man. Let's see. There was a thing for Anarchy where he had like, I forget what it's called, but it's like nunchucks, but it's made of 3 parts. Anybody know this? Me neither. So that was cool and really hard because I thought I'd be actually like using it a lot on the show. So I was in my parents' backyard like trying to learn it. And then when we went to set, I was like, okay, yeah, actually I tried this out. Like, they're like, oh no, dude, we're just bringing in the stunt guy. So like I was like practicing in the backyard like a loser. And then showed up to set being like, yeah, I'm gonna kick some ass. And then literally they just put in the stunt guy. So I learned it, but I never got to do it. No, it wasn't that fun. The coolest thing I got to do was I shot an underwater scene in a pilot that never aired, and I got to shoot in like a full like dunk tank where they would hook you up to like oxygen, and then you'd have to film underwater while you were holding your breath. That was pretty cool. And the man straddling as well, also. Hi.
Hi. Okay, so one of my favorite lines of Supernatural is in season 13, and Jack goes, hello. And like every time someone says hello to me, I think of that and I laugh. So I was wondering what is your favorite line that he said?
I mean, I tried to make a bit out of the hello thing, because what's a character without a reoccurring line, What do you think Dean's like most reoccurring line is? Because I have my idea. Wow. Sorry, I'm gonna keep rolling with this. What would Sam's most like catchphrasey line be? We're gonna keep going with this. What about Cass?
Hello,
Sorry.
Dean. Hello, Dean.
Wow. Okay. I really should have known better at this point. The nougat line right away was obviously really funny for me. The hello thing I like, just because now I've kind of got a couple variations of it depending on how he feels about the person. Because initially it's like, hello, but then like now if he's unsure, he's like, hello? Why? Do you have an idea for me?
No, that's fine.
Nothing, okay. Yeah, I don't think he has more memorable lines than that. Just like looking awkward all the time might be his legacy, Comfortable walking shoes. Who knows? Thanks. I was like, who would be like the other person who have like the most catchphrasey lines? I was unaware of this. That was before I was alive, so, you know. Hi.
So I was wondering, your cat's Instagram, like what was the story behind like creating it?
Well, initially it was created because like, it just started as a joke. Pretty much anytime you like have a pet and you just start, you know, sending all the photos to people, and they're like, dude, we've seen the cat 80 times today, like you need to chill. But it started off as just like, something we made that was like, I was like, I want to see the cat at all times. I want to be able to pull up photos of the cat. But then, you know, his personality bled through, so all the captions kind of turned into that, you know? Yeah, it was like, how much of an asshole can he really be? And turns out when you're really cute, you can get away with stuff. Like stealing treats, or, you know, running across people's faces, and you can just do it. So if you're cute, take advantage of it. While you can. Dogpiling, not cute. Hello.
Hello. So you asked for a funny question.
Please.
I'm curious, have you been on any more backstreet Las Vegas walking tours?
So, now I'm trying to remember, was that 2 years ago or a year ago? 2 years. So I've done very, very few of these at this point. I'm going to rehash the story for some people who maybe hadn't heard it. Brace yourself, I'm terrible. So basically, I was at the hotel and then I saw that there was the show on Saturday night. So my dumbass pulls up a map and goes, oh, it's only 15, 20 minutes walk. I was like, why not? But then that led me to like walking through like abandoned streets. There's kind of like an industrial area kind of around here that I kind of rolled through. And by the time I was walking through it, like there was like a weird SUV that pulled up, and I was like obviously witnessing a drug deal. And then I'm like just walking. I'm like I need to get the hell out of here. So then I finally made it here, but then I didn't know where the show was. I missed the entire thing. So that was, yeah, that was my Saturday, my first Saturday in Vegas. Lonely walk, missed the whole show, and utter confusion. So this time I took a car. I love how truly pitiful you guys think I am. I'm like, I took a car. You guys are like, this guy, like, this guy's figured it out. No bad decisions that way recently, although I was walking around the strip last night and I saw some truly terrible behavior, and I saw one guy almost get hit by a car because he was so drunk and his girlfriend was holding him up and he was doing like one of the craziest staggers I've ever seen in my life. Like Captain Jack Sparrow, but real. Yeah, that was just terrifying. But thankfully it wasn't me, so cheers. Thanks.
Hi.
Hi.
So I loved you in The Edge of 17, and so...
It's a red flag. Red flag.
So I'm just wondering whether you preferred playing with Jerk Nick or whether you preferred playing Belle in Supernatural.
Well, you know, they're all coming from the same place, which is my jerk heart. No, I really liked The Edge of 17. I feel like if it would have been released now, or like maybe released on Netflix, I feel like it would have had, I don't know, a stronger resonance with people, because I feel like the movie kind of came and went. But I really feel like it was like a nuanced take of like what it means to actually be a teenager. Yeah, but Nick, if you like Nick, it's a red flag. That's all I'm saying. I think Nick was, I don't know, it's hard, it's like, you know, which of your children do you want the most, you know? We know you have a favorite mom, don't lie to me. Yeah, but Nick was a little more nuanced and there was kind of some depth to that character, and then shooting it was obviously incredibly awkward, but other than that, it was like, I don't know, it was a good story point for her because that kind of, Nick's douchebaggery kind of pushes her over the edge. So I was happy to be that douchebag.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello.
I was wondering about your experience when they put you in the mallet box, and like if you had to stay in there extremely long time for the different takes, and also when Lucifer was in there with you. Got some funny stories?
I mean, that was just really fun. I love that, like, how that was shot, and I don't know. I was thinking he was, for that kind of time, he was like my Tyler Durden, you know? Fight Club, anyone? Sorry, I've met some teenagers today, 13 and 15. Hi, guys. But I made a Seinfeld reference. I'm like, I'm old, okay. But yeah, that was super fun to shoot because, you know, he's just kind of on my shoulder, just kind of pushed me over the edge. They did, however, let me out of the box between takes. Unlike the gurney, which I was held down by a full-grown man. Yeah, the box was, there was 2 boxes actually, and then the one box that I emerged out of and exploded out of, and then there was also a box that me and Mark shot together in. How lovely, side by side. Never get to hang out with women, I guess, on the show. No one's ever like giving me a hug or anything. It's just like me with dudes. Me laying next to dudes. Me exploding out of a box to talk to dudes. But yeah, that was just really fun. And then the box that me and Mark were in was actually like an expanded box so we could, you know, both fit in there and hang out. Less hilarious stories with Mark, but you know, that was just like a really fun day for me that I was really looking forward to shooting because of, I don't know, I just love their dynamic and how Lucifer just, you know, messes with Jack's head all the time. I feel like he's done the most mind damage of all my fathers, you know? Early childhood trauma for 100, thank you. Thanks. Hi.
Hi, my name is Cece, and I was wondering if you could change any line that Jack has said in the show at all, what line would you change?
You have any suggestions?
No, I like everything you say.
That's so sweet of you. I don't know, because the rate at which we filmed the show, it's like, I don't know, these last 3 years have just flown by for me. Yeah, I don't know, but the way my brain works, I usually remember faces better than names, and for like the acting part of things, I'll generally focus on like, I can remember how I felt, but I don't remember what I said necessarily. So if I reflect on like the show, it'd be like, what was Jack's favorite line? For me, it'd be, I could think of like more so what would be like my favorite emotional moments from Jack. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Hi.
Hi, my name's Eileen. You film in Vancouver, a lot of people, you know.
Spoiler.
And one of your first scenes, you were in front of a fast food joint, primarily not in a whole lot of clothes.
Also correct.
What time of year did you film that, and how cold were you?
Oh my God. Thankfully it was July, which is typically pretty nice to not make me shoot that in December. But if I recall correctly, it was a little bit of a brisk day. Reversion for 100, thank you. Yeah, I was a little nipply, all right, it was cold out. What do you want from me? Yeah, thankfully they were shooting in July, so that was definitely helpful. But, you know, the writers don't ever care. They're not like, oh, what time of year will you shoot this in? I remember once I shot on this show where they made us jump into like a river in Vancouver, like a swimming hole, but we had to shoot it in like March, and it was supposed to be like a summer scene. So like, they're just like, the worst thing they ever tell you, they just go like this, they go, look like you're warm. I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, you're shaking, you're cold. Yeah, I'm freezing. Like, what do you mean? So that's kind of the worst thing that happens, but thankfully this was not that. Yeah. We're like, unsharpen your nipples. You're like, please dude, like, what do you want from me? Hi.
Hello, my name is Erin. You seem like a really funny, charming person,
Oh, the lies. Okay.
I mean, just from what I've seen of you here. So I was wondering if you have a preference for what direction your acting career would go from here. Do you prefer serious, kind of dramatic roles, or are you looking to maybe move into a more like comedic, funny, charming kind of role? Do you have a preference?
I don't know. I feel like I can do both. You know. I try to be funny here because like, you know, if I give you guys a serious answer for everything, you'd be like, this is boring. Yeah, so I don't know, I don't really have a preference that way. If you could pitch me like something I should do, what would you suggest?
Oh my goodness.
Don't say 2.5 Men. I'm literally already dealing with that like right now at work. Jared, Jensen, and our half man, our own, Misha Collins. By the way, I say this as an open roast to Misha because, wait a second, he just sometimes will forget you're around, so I gotta roast him at every turn, you know? Sorry, go ahead.
If I had to try to pitch something for you.
Well, if you like had a show, like a show that's already on, or a movie where you're like, oh, I think Alex would not suck at that.
Well, I mean, so you've been doing a really good job with kind of like a new human who doesn't know how to human yet.
I'm really just playing myself.
That's fair. I like that about you. So, I don't know, if I had to put something maybe like the next generation of like the comic book hero kind of movies, maybe an alien type character. I couldn't think of a specific character, but maybe something
But more
like
alien-esque things from me in 2020.
Yeah.
Okay, copy. Any more here now? Oh, hey.
Hi, I was curious, how do you think that since Crowley died essentially for the purpose of saving Jack, how do you think an encounter, if that hadn't happened, between Jack and Crowley would go?
I'm not sure, because from my understanding, Crowley's like very surly, you know, kind of a grump. Is it correct?
Yeah.
What would his signature line be?
Hello, boys.
That one I knew. It's just fun to have you guys all say the same thing. I don't know why. I don't know. I think it would be very complicated. I feel like anytime there's a question of lineage with Jack, it's always an interesting endeavor. I don't know. Hope he would get a kick out of him, or maybe, I don't know. Maybe he'd treat me like a dick, which would also be fun. You know? Yeah.
Who dat?
If Jack was to meet Crowley.
Oh.
Yeah. Instead, I gotta hang out with you guys, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, good times.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, security code name Scorpion, Alex